All right, welcome back, finance students. We're moving on to 8-6. Go ahead and find 8-6 in your notes. We're going to go through some definitions, and then we'll go through a couple problems, and you have a couple problems of homework. Okay, so 8-6 is called stock transactions. So it says the first thing here, a stock portfolio. So a stock portfolio, maybe you've heard commercials about what's in your portfolio, something like that related to stocks. It's just a set of all stocks a person currently owns. So if you own Apple and Tesla, your portfolio consists of those two stocks. Okay, stocks can go up and down in value. If the stock market is volatile, it means there have been recent, sudden, extreme changes, kind of like the last couple of months in stock prices due to market volatility, and because some stocks do not perform as expected, it is best to have a diversified portfolio. Okay, so you want to have a diversified portfolio. So you just don't want to own all stocks that are kind of the same thing. So you wouldn't own all tech stocks, okay, like Apple and Samsung. Those generally tend to do the same thing. You want to maybe own some healthcare stocks, some real estate stocks, something that has to do with technology. That's what diversified means. Okay, and that's what a mutual fund can do for you. So when you're first starting out in investing, mutual funds are the best thing to do, because if you just put all your money in one stock, if that thing goes down, you're in trouble. But if you have a mutual fund and one of the stocks goes down, usually mutual funds consist of 50 or more stocks, you're okay if one goes down. The other ones will kind of make up for it. And so a diversified portfolio of stocks of different sized companies in different industries. Okay, when stock is bought and sold, a transaction is made with another stockholder. Okay, so how does it actually work? Well, in order for you to buy stock, someone has to sell it. There's only a given amount of shares out there. Okay, when you buy stock, someone else is selling it. So you think it's going to go up, they think it's going to go down. So that's kind of how it works. And companies release new shares of stocks, we learned about that earlier, to get capital, to get income. Okay, so if a company, they know that they're going to need tens or hundreds of millions of dollars to build a new facility, whatever it is they're going to do to get capital, to invest in some research, they sell the stocks, and then people buy them, and then people trade them. All right, we'll skip down here. So most shareholders buy and sell stocks in multiples of 100 shares, which are called round lots. A purchase of less than 100 shares is called an odd lot. And when you buy stock, even if its value increases, you will not make a profit until you actually sell the stock. Okay, so you could have the stock and it's gone up 3%, but until you actually sell it, you don't have the profit. If the shares are sold at a higher price than they were purchased for, you make a profit. And the difference between the selling price and the purchase price is a gross capital gross capital. Start writing gross again. Is a gross capital gain or capital loss? Gain or loss. Okay, we won't fill out the other part there. So if the money goes up, it's called a capital gain. If the stock goes up, it's called a capital gain. If the stock goes down, it's called a capital loss. And if you earn money on stocks, you have to report that on your income. When we talked about filing taxes earlier, there was gross capital gain and gross capital loss. There's a section for that on the 1040 form. So you have to report your gain and your loss. All right, and that's what it says at the very bottom here. Okay, so you have to report that. Usually if you use an investment company, I have a couple of them here open here. If you use E-Trade or you use Ameritrade, what they do is they just keep track of all that stuff for you, and they will actually just give you a form with all your capital gain and capital loss, and you can just use that form to fill out your taxes. If you're buying stocks on your own, you would have to keep track of that information on your own and then report it to the IRS. Okay, let's look at example 1 here. So example 1, it says, several years ago, Marlene purchased a stock for $7,241. Last week she sold it for $9,219. What was her gross capital gain? Obviously it went up, so just simple subtraction here. 9,219 minus 7,241. And when I do the math here, I get she has a gross capital gain of $1,978. Okay, so she would have to report that to the IRS. Go ahead and pause the video, do the check your understanding problem. Hey, assuming you pause the breath, use money received as a gift for high school to purchase $4,000 worth of shares of stock. After he graduated from college, he needed money to buy a car, so he sold the stock for $2,433. What was capital gain or loss? Okay, well, he actually lost money. Okay, so he bought it for $4,000, sold it for $2,433. So if I were to subtract those, $2,433 minus $4,000, that would give me a negative number there. Okay, so that'd be negative 1,576. All right. Example 2. 5 years ago, Jessica bought 300 shares of a cosmetic company stock for $34.87 per share. Yesterday, she sold all of the shares for $41 per share. What was her capital gain? Well, you can kind of take a shortcut here. You can just say 41 minus 34.87. That's going to be her gain per share. And then I'm going to multiply that amount by 300 because she owns 300 shares. Okay, so when I have that's going to be 41 minus 34.87. And I can multiply that amount by 300. And that's going to be $1,839. Okay, and that would be a capital gain. All right, try these last two here. So Kelvin bought 125 shares of stock for $68.24 per share. He sold them 9 months later for $85.89 a share. What was his capital gain? I'll pause it, try these two. Okay, so same idea. Obviously, he sold them for more than he purchased them for, so it's going to be a capital gain. So this is 85.89 minus 68.24, and he had 125 of those, so I would multiply it by 125. And you could put in the calculator just like that with parentheses, 85.89 minus 68.24. Multiply that by 125 shares. And this is going to be $2,206.25. Okay, so that would be his capital gain. All right, extend your understanding. 3 years ago, Maxine purchased 450 shares for X dollars. She sold them last week for Y dollars. Express her capital gain algebraically in terms of X and Y. Okay, so you want to do the price that she sold them for minus the price that she bought them for times 450. So that would be the expression you would use. All right, so it's always the price you sold it for minus the price you bought it for times the number of shares. Okay, so we have this section, and then our last section we're going to talk about is dividend income. Okay, we haven't really mentioned much about that. So it's another way you can earn income by buying a stock and never selling it. Okay, it's another way to earn income by owning stock. All right, your homework. Let's go to the homework page. Go to 8-6, so stock transactions. Okay, and I want you to do the first 6. Okay, so the homework is just practicing the first 6 problems right there.